Hi everyone, welcome to day 10 of the FCHS Fitness Challenge. Can't believe we're on day 10 already, but we are, so congratulations if you've made it this far, and welcome if you're starting with us today. So today we're just going to do a nice cardio workout. So we're going to do a cardio exercise for 45 seconds, we'll take a 15-second rest, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. If you make it through one round, it should be about 12 minutes. You are welcome to do another round on your own after the video, feel free. But that's kind of how today will work. So what I have for this workout, I'm just going to use a stair as my equipment. So some of our exercises will be on the floor and some of them will be on the stair. If you don't have a stair available, you can use a step stool or a chair. That'll be a good substitute as long as it's sturdy and it won't fall underneath you. If you don't want to use the stair for these exercises, you don't have to. You can stick with the exercise that we do right before we kind of throw the stair in, and that's a good substitute. So I'll kind of cue that as we go on for those of you who want to just stick with the flat floor. All right, so we're going to get started with a nice warm up. So we're just going to do some side reaches. We're going to reach overhead, stretch out that side, and we'll do about 5 on each side. You can add a little bit of leg in there, a little bit of torso rotation. Okay. Just kind of wake up that body a little bit, stretch those muscles out. Gonna even out here. And then our next one, we're gonna do some hip circles. So I usually put my hands on my hips, and then we're just gonna circle those hips, kind of stretch a little bit of the leg. And we'll do 5 circles to the left. We'll do one more here. And then we're gonna switch and we'll go to the right. Okay, we'll be working those legs quite a bit, so it always helps to get some mobility in the hips. Great, one more. Okay, our next little warm-up, we're gonna bring one foot out and bring the hands up. Okay, so kind of a full body movement here. Just waking up the legs, waking up the arms. We won't use our arms too much today, but it's always good to get those movements in, and the more body parts we move, the warmer we get. Okay. Gonna even out here. One more, and then we're just gonna do some side steps. So I'm just gonna step to the left, step to the right, wake up those sides of my legs. That'll be important later in the video. Okay. I'm just going to do 2 more in each direction here. So one more, and then we'll get started with our workout. All right, so we're going to start with the first 45 seconds. We're going to march in place, okay? Because we're still kind of warming up. This doesn't have to be a really fast motion, okay? We're just going to march. As you feel a little more warm, you can add a bit of a run or a hop, however you want to do it, okay? We're at about 23 seconds, so we're kind of at that halfway point if you want to add a little more cardio in. Okay. 15 seconds to go, and then we'll rest. Okay. 2 and 1, so you can relax. Our next exercise we're going to do is step up. So if you don't want to do step ups, you can do another round of marching in place. For those of you who are going to use a stair or a step, I want you to plant your right foot on the step, and you're going to push through that foot, ground through that foot and the heel to bring the left leg up on the step. Then we're going to bring the left foot down and bring the right foot down to meet it. Okay, so you're pushing up with that right foot. The left is just along for the ride. So this right leg is going to do all the work. Don't worry, we'll get both sides. Okay, as you get comfortable with this, if your knee feels okay, you can add a bit of speed here. So we have about 15 seconds left. And I'm going to make this more of a quicker motion. I'm going to add a little bit of power, a little bit of drive through my foot. Still using my hamstrings and my glutes and my quad to bring that leg up. I'm not putting too much pressure on my knee, really using that back of the body here. All right, you guys can relax. Gotta do a few extra there, I apologize. We're gonna do another round of marching in place here. I'll give you an extra 10 seconds. When we do this march in place, I want you to start your march on your left side, or the side that you aren't normally dominant in. So take that second to kind of think that through when we're gonna march here, okay? So I know for me, I always start walking and running and marching and stepping always on my right. So every time I start something with my left foot, I feel a little off balance. So I like to, every now and then, throw you guys for a brain loop. Ooh, it does feel weird. We're gonna go for 20 more seconds, okay? And you can always add a little bit more if you want. You can make it a little faster. 10 seconds. All right, and 1. Okay, we're gonna relax. For our next exercise, we're gonna go back to the step, but we're gonna step up with our left foot now, okay? So same exact motion, we're just changing the direction. So I'm gonna step up here, ground through my left foot, bring the right one up, step the right foot down, bring the left to meet it. Okay. And again, this might feel a little bit weirder than the other side if you're not dominant on that left side. Might feel a little funky. Sometimes we have some imbalances in our legs that we have to strengthen. So perfectly normal. And again, add a bit of speed. Once you get comfortable with the movement, adding that speed is going to help bring that heart rate up. If you want to take it slow, you're still going to get a good strength training benefit from it. So if you really want to get that motion down, do that. We're going to come back down to the floor. We're going to take our 15 seconds. And our next one, we're going to do our out, out, in, okay? And we're going to start by stepping out with the right foot. So we're going to step out with the right, out with the left, in with the right, in with the left, out with the right, out with the left, in with the right, in with the left. Okay, and as I get comfortable with this, I'm going to speed up the pace. I'm going to feel like a football player or a basketball player or some kind of sports player. Right, you can add a bit of a squat to get a little more quad motion. Okay, whoa, see, that's what happens when you go fast. You're talking and not paying attention to your feet. Okay, good, we got about 12 more seconds. Okay, and this will kind of wake up the sides of our legs a little bit because our next step exercise, we're gonna step to the side. So we're gonna put that right foot back on the step, push, and the left foot will meet it, okay? But we're gonna rest first. If you don't wanna do your step ups, we're just gonna do that out, out, in again, okay? You're gonna do one more set of that. All right, right foot on the step. For those of you doing the step, push through that foot, left foot to meet it. Left foot goes down, right foot meets it. So this, you should feel a little bit differently in your legs than our other step ups. Okay, you'll still feel some quad. You'll feel the back of your leg. You'll feel those glutes, but you'll probably feel a little bit more in that side of the glute, that side of the leg, right? As we activate that lateral motion. Whew. All right, we got 10 more seconds. So you still want to be nice and controlled, but you want to pick up the pace a little bit if you're going for more of a cardio workout, and relax. 15 seconds. Then we're going to do our out, out, in, but we're going to start to the left, all right? We got 5 more seconds of rest. Whew. Now we're going to go left out, left in, right in, okay? Out, in, out, in. Add that speed when you have the movement coordinated, okay? It might be harder to coordinate the movement if you're starting on a side. Whoa, that is not your dominant side. You'll see I'm not really picking up my pace this time around. It's much harder for me to do that when I'm starting to my left. So don't feel bad. We have about 13 seconds to go. And then you can either do another set of our out, out, in, ins, everyone's favorite, or we'll go to our step ups to the left side and relax. All right, we have a 15-second break. And then I will face away from you for this next one to work my left side here. So you'll see how this should look from the back. You'll notice that my posture is not leaning too far forward or too far back. I'm going to be nice and controlled. So my left foot's up on the step. Right foot comes up to meet it. Right foot goes down. Left foot goes down. Okay. Nice side step. Okay, just watch your balance. Hopefully you have a banister to help you keep the balance if you're using a stair. I'd have the wall right here. Okay. We have 10 seconds to go. Whew. All right, one more. And we'll settle here on the floor. We have, for our next one, we're gonna do some step backs. So we did this in one of our other videos last week. Pretty basic movement. We're just gonna step the foot back and bring it forward again. Step it back, bring it forward. Should open the hip a little bit. It'll feel like a less intense exercise compared to what we were just doing, but we're kind of gearing up our muscles for the next one to come. Okay. So we're gonna go for about 5 more seconds here. All right, and then as you guys are resting, you have a 15-second rest. I'm gonna demonstrate the next exercise. So we're gonna deepen that movement. If you don't wanna do that, again, just stick with that step back. Those of you who want a little more, we're gonna step back into a lunge, okay? So that knee can bend. You wanna be 90 degrees in the front knee, 90 in the back knee. We're gonna balance in this foot, so have your chair or your wall handy. We're gonna drive through this foot and bring the knee up and then go back down. If the lunging is hard, we can also just keep this leg straight and bring it up to get that balance in. Okay, so a few options. We're gonna start this set, okay? I might start with my knee bent into the lunge, and I might decide to not do that towards the end. Okay, right? We're just gonna take it as it goes. This exercise is a good balance one too. Okay, just make sure you have that stability point somewhere so you don't fall. We're gonna do about 10 more seconds of this one. Ooh, and then you guessed it, we're gonna switch the feet. Okay, relax. We'll take our 15-second rest, and then we're gonna do the same thing for the left side. So we'll just start with a nice warm up for that exercise here. In about 1 second, and we'll go. We'll step back and back and back. And you can do this quickly. I definitely still feel the cardio, even though it's not too big of a movement yet. But we're preparing our body for what's to come. Okay, got about 10 more seconds. I love just sneaking balance into all of our workouts. Okay, relax. Take our 15 seconds, and then we're gonna do our lunge to our knee up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we'll step it back or lunge it back, drive that knee forward. So really ground and balance through this left or right leg. Okay. That left one's kind of just along for the ride. A lot of core work too, right? We were trying to stay balanced. So even though we're not really traditionally working our core, try to stay nice and stable throughout this midsection, and you'll really feel the difference. We have about 10 seconds to go here. And then we'll stretch it out. Woo. One more. And bring that foot down. Congratulations. If you want to do that whole thing again, feel free. I'm good though. I'm gonna stretch. So we're gonna start with a quad stretch. I'm just gonna bring that heel up. Okay, stretch the front of my leg. We'll just stretch for a little bit here, but those of you who want more, you can try to hold this for 30 seconds on each side, each of the stretches for about 30 seconds. And see how that goes. I'm gonna switch, do the other leg. Ooh. Still catching my breath. So you know it was a good workout when you're still catching your breath. All right, we're gonna put both feet on the floor where they like to be. And I'm just gonna bend down, reach down towards my toes. Okay, or the shins or the knees, wherever your hands wanna go. You wanna stretch the back of the leg. Okay. Our next one I kind of always think of as a reverse quad stretch, but we're just gonna hug our knee into our chest here. Okay. I always do this very close to the wall for when I fall into it. Hopefully you guys have better balance than I do. And we'll switch, get that other side, stretch those hips, a little bit of that glute. All right, then we'll stretch those inner thighs. So I'm gonna use my stair here. I'm just gonna put my foot up on the stair and lean into that foot. All right, you can push your hips back to get a deeper stretch here. Okay. When we elevate the foot, it just makes it a little easier on our knee. You can also do this stretch if you don't have a stair by just leaning into that other knee. I know I'm getting cut off here. Leaning into that knee, hinging the hips back and straightening out that other leg. Okay, so I'll do it that way for the left side for those of you who want to do this variation. Okay. Ooh. All right, our last stretch, we're gonna do a calf stretch. So I'm just gonna prop my foot up against my stair here. I'm gonna try to prop my foot up into the stair here and lean into it. Apparently I need more calf stretching. This is not going well. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Let me use this. There we go. Ooh. Just press into that foot, stretch the calf. Sometimes those calves have to do a lot of work when we're balancing. We don't always realize it. All right. You guys are all done. I'm just gonna do some ankle circles here, release some of that pressure from my calf stretches. All right, if that feels good for you, feel free. All right, so that was a nice cardio workout for your Tuesday here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be back tomorrow with another challenge video for day 11. All right, great job. See you tomorrow. Bye.